Hey, this is going to be a quick tutorial video on how to build a replay email. Now, basically what's happened here is we've already done a live Hangout, whether it's an episode of Real Estate Uncensored, like in this case, or it could be one of the other Hangouts that I run. But basically now we need to build a replay email to promote that episode. So for this particular video, we're going to look at how to build these in vertical response. And the great thing about vertical response is that we can just grab one of our previous replay emails and start from that email and just make a copy. So we're going to go back. We're promoting episode 18. So we're going to go back and look at the episode 17 replay. We're going to start with a copy of that email. We're going to rename it. Now I've already gone through this process and built this particular replay email, so I'm going to name it a little bit differently so that I can tell the difference between the one that's actually scheduled to go out already and this one that I'm building for your benefit to show you. And then what we're going to do, we're going to grab the title. So it's how to build a top producing real estate team with Circle Prospect. That's probably all that will fit on that subject line. So that's what we're going to grab here. We're going to paste that in, and we want to grab it from, here we go. This is, in this particular case, it is building it's giving it to us in all caps. We don't want it in all caps in the subject line. So what we want to do, let's flip over here, and we're going to go to the show notes, where the original material for this lives. Hang on a second, let me find it. Okay, there we go. Alright, so episode 18 show notes, you'll get this from me. Here we go. How to build a top producing real estate team with Circle Prospecting. So copy that, flip back over to vertical response, and we want to leave this here. So this is a special character and then the word replay. Leave all that there, knock everything else out, and paste that in there. So I'm okay with that. If it's a little over, we can also abbreviate this right here to a W and a /. So there you go. There's the subject line. So it's basically the title or an abbreviated title of the Hangout. You want to follow the way that the show notes show that it's capitalized. That's something that I do manually when I write up that headline. And we want to stick as close to that with the subject line as possible. So then we hit next, go over to here. This will all be the old information, so now we'll have to bring this in again. So how to build a top producing real estate team. We'll copy the whole title this time, and we're going to take this and we're just going to paste this right here. And in order to avoid having to reformat everything, notice I'm not going to select everything and paste it. I'm going to select part of it, and I'm going to paste that right there. And let's see, I can get this to work correctly here. Nope. All right. So we're just going to knock this whole thing out. There we go. And then we're going to get rid of that image. We're going to replace it with the screenshot that we've built for this specific episode. So it's going to be the episode 18 screenshot. There we go. We're going to upload that. I want it the medium size, the 300 pixels by 167. So we're going to resize, and we're going to save the image. There we go. So now we've got that in there. And I'm changing a couple of things. I want this to be 10 point as well. I want this to be 10 point. And in this particular case, normally what we're going to do is we're going to have a summary and the takeaways here, and then we would have the whole show notes. With this particular one, these show notes ended up being really, really long. So I decided I'm going to do something a little bit different for this particular email. And rather than having the show notes, I'm going to knock those out and erase those show notes. And I'm just going to have the summary and the top 3 takeaways. So that's what we're going to paste in here. So we're going to erase the existing. We're going to go back in and we're going to copy and paste this. There we go. So there's our summary, and there's our 3 key takeaways. So now we're going to go back in. We're going to paste that in there. Okay, looks good. All right. Now we want to, let's start by formatting all this to make sure it's all Arial, all 10 point. There we go. This is all going to be 10 point. We've already changed that one. Okay. So now now that we've got our new information in there, we've got the new title, we've got the new screenshot, we've got the new summary, the new 3 takeaways, and if we have enough room, then this is where, and this is how we would paste in the show notes. So what we would do is we would type in, if it's not already there, here are the show notes. And what we would do is we would grab those and we would paste them in here. And then we would go back through and do a lot of bolding and formatting to make sure that looks good. So like I said, in this particular case, the show notes are so long that I'm not including them in this email. And so we're just working with the 2 paragraphs and the takeaways. So we've already made sure this is all Arial, it's all 10 point. This is all 10 point as well. So what we're going to do now is we are going to go through and just bold the key elements. So we're joined by top agent and team leader Jamie Cox. Drop dead simple scripts for circle prospecting. That's a pretty good one. Personalized follow-up process for leads. That's another good one. So basically we're just taking what are the key points in here and bolding them. And if I don't provide them bolded to you in here, you're welcome to take your own guess at it, and if there's an issue, I can go have you correct it. But for the most part, if I want certain things bolded a certain way, I will put them in the show notes that way. And then we always want to bold this right here. That way there's a good separation between the summary and the next section. And then, so we've got our formatting there. We do need to go back here, make that Arial, and I believe this needs to be 18, excuse me, is it 14 point? Yeah, there we go. And I want this at 10. There we go. So what we don't want to do is this. We don't want to put in like a hard break there and make it look good on desktop, and then when you pull it up on the mobile phone, it has a different formatting. So we want to make sure that everything is on the same line, even if it doesn't look great here, because then when we shrink that up like this, it should wrap correctly on a mobile phone. So we've got this. This is all 14 point Arial, and it's bold. We want this bold and that unbolded there. These are all bolded. Click to watch the replay, always bolded. This, for the most part, will promote something different every time. I'll let you know what it is, but pretty much you can leave this the same. Subscribe to Real Estate Uncensored on YouTube and iTunes. Those links are already built in there, so you don't have to mess with it. But if we're promoting a special back episode, then that's where it would go here. So you would say including, episode 17 and the title, and then you'd put that episode screenshot there instead of the blooper reel, and then you'd put a special call to action to watch it on YouTube there. And then this might change as well, and so if we want to change that up, I will let you know, and I will send you the language to insert for the PS. If not, just leave that alone. So then the last thing that needs to be done is changing out all the links. Now, if you've already gone through and posted the Hangout with the show notes to our website, whatever the case is, whether it's McDaniel Real Estate Systems, whether it's PursuingResults.com, whether it's EliteRealEstateSystems.com, whatever, before we send any email out, hopefully we'll have time to update it and post it to the website. That way all the links go back to the website. So the first thing we want to link is the image. Paste the link in there. Then we're going to go and all those replay links, watch the replay links. We want to eliminate the link that's there already, post the new one in, hit OK. Same thing here. Double click, erase, post the new link. Okay, now this looks pretty good. This is the HTML version. Now we need to make sure that the all text version looks good. So we're going to flip over to the text version, click this so that it generates a version automatically, then unclick it so you can modify it. Okay. So we've got the title up here at the top. We've got click play to watch, but see how we've got the links duplicated because over here we've got a link here and a link here. Well, we don't need that in the text version, so you're going to click and just eliminate all of that. So then we get down here, we've got our 2-paragraph summary, we've got our 3 takeaways, but there's not a lot. It's just they're just sentences, because in here we've got the 1, 2, 3, but it doesn't carry that over to the text version, so you might have to manually add that there. So 1, 2, and 3 for our takeaways, okay? And then see how it's got the click to watch the replay comes after the link. We want to change that so that it comes beforehand. And then we've got our links to subscribe there. And I want to put a divider here, just something simple. And that's good enough. All right, then we do want to take out that second link. We don't need that. And basically now we've got a decent looking text version, so if somebody's email doesn't display the HTML, this is what they see instead. So we always want to make sure that that looks good and reasonably simple. Another thing that I will do is here, I will put that on a separate line and make it a little bit clearer what we're asking them to do. So subscribe to YouTube Uncensored, or subscribe to Real Estate Uncensored on YouTube. And then I knocked out the spacing. Same thing there. There we go. Don't miss an episode, including bonus content from me. Okay. So now we've got, it's spaced a little bit better so people can read it. There we go. All right. Now we should be able to go over here, preview what we're looking at. Looks pretty good. Same thing, let's check the all text email. Not bad, a little busy with the links. So we can go back over here and make a couple of changes. I want to eliminate this. There we go. Oops. There we go. And I want to, there was something else I wanted to take out. There we go, that. All right. Now you're ready to send a test email. Double check everything. So we're going to send a test email to ourselves here. If obviously type in your own email here, this is mine. So then we're going to go over and look at the email version. There we go. So there's our replay email. Check the HTML version first. This is the main thing. And hopefully, there we go. So we can see how it kind of optimizes for mobile. But then we'll want to read through everything. I'll do my best to make sure that things are spell checked before they're sent to you, but if you notice something, obviously go ahead and change it using your best judgment. You can always copy this and put it into a Word document and see if Word brings up any spelling or grammar errors, and if there's any question about what needs to be done, if it needs to be changed, or if you're just not sure on the exact English of how things are phrased or how things are spelled, just send it over to me and I'll let you know. So we want to make sure that all this looks good, that the bolding looks good. The main thing is to then double check every single link, make sure that it all goes to the places they should be going. So yep, same thing here. Okay, looks good. Here's the last one. Okay, looks good. All right, now these are unchanged, but we still want to make sure that the links are valid, that nothing got changed in the back-end code. There we go. It's going to YouTube. This one's supposed to go to iTunes. Looks good. And then this one's supposed to go to the blooper reel. Yep, blooper reel. Same thing with this link right here.
You never know when you're going to catch a little nugget.
All right. And then last thing, this link down here. It's supposed to go to this page here. Perfect. All right, so now that we've double checked all the links in there, we know those are good. Now we just want to look over and make sure that the alt text, these are all the same links, so we don't need to double check these. We just want to make sure that it looks good and that that nothing drastically changed or got altered between when we looked at this in this section versus when we send it to ourselves by email. All right, so now that's ready to send over to me for approval. And that's how you build a replay email in vertical response for a Hangout that's already taken place.